Hello. How to create 1 year of content calendar. At least that's the way I'm calling it. 1 year content calendar, 1 year content schedule. But I'm just going to stick with 1 year content calendar. I have now, it's a project that I've been working on since 2023 or right before 2023, but I have not fine-tuned it yet, and I just like to share that with you in case it gives you some idea, or you can share some ideas with me. That would be great. But the way I view the way I'm planning it to create a 1 year content calendar, you can if you have YouTube channel, you have blog, you have Pinterest. I have those, so those are what I'm going to use in this example. You can go through it, and I'm deciding about creating a content calendar now. I didn't start my blog or YouTube channel with that idea in mind. I have a blog since 2014 or so, and YouTube channel since end of 2019. But as I'm progressing, I'm trying to improve, fine-tune things, find processes that work for us. And then I decided to have 1 year content calendar. So if you are starting now, I don't know if you will be in a position to decide that, but just know that I've been creating content for a while, and this video is not to show you, the best kind of content calendar or anything like that. It's just the way I'm working on mine, and I like the idea of having 1 year of content calendar on hand. So the way I visualized the first though, when I was thinking about it in 2022, was, well, to go through, let's just say, YouTube channel, and let's just say the first 50, the first top 50 content, pick them up and just rotate them every year. That was when I first thought about that idea. That's the solution or the process that I planned for it. But then, and as I continue, I decided that, well, pick, like in this example, we have the blog, we have YouTube channel, we have Pinterest. Go through the analytics, and for the YouTube, pick the first 10 topic that that are ranking well. On the blog, go to Google Analytics and pick the first 10 topics that are working well. Go to Pinterest and pick the top few content that are working well. And if there is a content or a topic in all three on all three channels that is ranking like among the top, that is a topic that will be included in the content calendar for the new year. And then pick other topic that are ranking in those different channels and add it to the content calendar. So now that, and then come up with 5 different topics or 4 different topics, depending on how yours is. And I'm going to use an example in this. By thinking that way though, those topics will be related or not. It doesn't really matter to me when I was thinking that way. So now that you have, let's just say, 5 topics that are ranking well, then you will list them down, and then you will go to Google, because I manually do those things, and research those topics or those subtopics, and write down the what the suggestion that Google is suggesting, and people also ask questions that are related to those topics that you have the answer for. Note them down and like record them, and try to have 10 different questions related to each one of those 5 topics that you have answer for. And pretty much by the time you have 5, now you have 10 questions. Underneath each one of them you have 50 content lists, and then you can just pick 2 extra to add it to it, and that will be your 52 weeks worth of content. And I'm basing that on creating content once a week. So since we have 52 weeks in a year, then that will be 52 topics or contents. So that's that. And if you create pins, then I'm assuming trying to pin once a day, that'll be 365 or so pins to pin, and divided by 52 content. 365 divided by 52 content is about 7. So let's just go with, let's just go with 6 pins. We can divide that between 3 video pins and 3 image or static pins, and then we create a template, for our thumbnails, for the YouTube thumbnails, for the blog, and then for the pins. So we have about 4, 5, 6, 7 pins templates. In fact, we have total will be 14, but we don't plan of using them all on one content. But create a template for thumbnails and for the pins, so that when you create a content, you can use the image to create the pins, and you can use the video content you can split it or cut it to make the video pins as well. So, and you can just go with 3, 3 or 8, that'll be 4, 4, and then you can have even more than 1 year worth of pins. And each time you create content, you know that you have 8 pins to create, 4 video pins and 4 images pins, and you'll create. So that was the idea behind it. And then I worked on a little bit in 2023, but I didn't really, it was a little bit helpful in 2023. So in 2024, instead of starting it, and I plan on starting it 2 months ahead before the new year, but now we are 4 months through the new fiscal year, and I have not done it yet. So now but as I'm thinking about how we will create that content calendar though, I thought about the type of content that we create. At least in our example, on our channel, we talk about finances, we talk about gardening, we talk about cooking, we talk about business management, and we talk about taxes. So that's 5 topics there, and you might think they are very diversified, and that'll be yes and no, because things that I tend to share are things that I'm working on, and there is something that we can all learn from. So is now for instance, I'm not gardening for the sake of gardening. I'm gardening because I want to save money and eat healthy. So, and in finances, I will talk about dividend stocks, for instance, because that's one way we are trying to make money to become financially independent. And we are growing some of our own food to save money and to eat healthy and to become financially independent. So different things that we are doing to become financially independent by saving money or making money are things that are used to create content or create content around to share things that I'm discovering or things that I'm learning or things that I know, skills, experience with you. So it might be diversified, but again, I'm not doing one thing to reach that goal. I'm more a generalist type person. Some people are specialists, they focus on one thing and one thing only. And yes, they can be successful doing that, but we are all different. I don't focus on one thing only. I'm a generalist, so I'll go wide, but there is another in my madness. So so those are different things that my husband and I, we are doing in our household to reach our financial independence. We are not just trying to save money or make money. So by just making money, you may not have control over your budget and your expenses might increase catching up with the income you are making as well. Or if you focus, that's my opinion though, if I focus too much on saving, then I won't have time making money. So I don't know all the tips involve saving money, but I'm just trying to find the middle ground that works for me. I'm more about balance, and it's not that I found the perfect balance, the perfect middle. Is a constant struggle, but that's what I strive toward, the balance. So the things that are how I can save money to keep my expenses low while making more, the middle ground that can work for me is what I work toward. So, and my husband help as well. So sometimes these days I don't even pay attention to sales at the grocery store. So my husband will be the one coming out with those sales and letting me know, and he's the one that does our shopping as well, so he can find sales that I don't even bother looking for, while I'm the one trading stocks, for instance. So then I will share things with him, so we tend to complement each other, and that is I will say that is my advantage as well. We all have our advantages, our what we can lean toward. So in our relationship, we tend to complement each other. So there are things that when he doesn't want to do it, then I will do it, and there are things that when he feel like I'm not going to do it, he will do it. So yeah, and so I share those things on our channel, and we have, but then and I know that I cannot create at this point, I cannot create more than one video a week, and I'm really struggling with that this year when I'm trying to make a routine out of my swing trading. So one content a week, that's 52 content a month. Therefore, that let me brainstorm about the different category of topic that I like to create content around. And like I said before, we have finance, gardening, cooking, business, and then we have different things underneath it. For instance, under finance, we have budgeting, investing. We have and for budgeting, spend less than you make. We have dividend stock investment, which I talked about in 2023. Now in 2024, I'm going to talk about swing trading. At least that's the plan. So in gardening, I like to talk about, or at least the way I garden is sustainable gardening to eat healthy and save money. So in that I have mulch gardening style. I grow perennial, so I have perennial garden. And under cooking from scratch to eat healthy and save money. So, and then we have business. So we have business tasks, business management, and create different sources of income. And on the task, for instance, we have 1065 task return, 1120 20 task return, and then we have management, how to manage your business. So those type of skills. So, and those are things that are the different categories that I like to create content around. But then I will think about, okay, so how am I going to structure that, or what will I pick for this current year, for instance? And I know so far for 2023, what we did for 2023. And for 2023, I believe I did that halfway through the year is when I actually sat down and worked on it. So for 2023, for finances, we talk about investing. I'm not sure we talk about budgeting and investing, but on the budget side though, I create more video about how to build your food supply on a budget. And I included a bit about budgeting in those videos. But the prior years I talk about budgeting or finances, budgeting or budget. But in 2023 it was more how to build your food supply on a budget. I make those videos around grocery shopping, and then I talk about dividend stock. So those are the two subcategories that I tackle under the category finance for content wise. So under gardening, I plan on mulch garden, perennial garden, fruits garden, and I don't know how much of those videos I create videos on perennial gardens, and I think few fruit trees. I make videos on those few fruit trees that we have as well. Under cooking, meal to cook from scratch, and 1 hour meal or quick meals. I didn't make much videos on that. So $1 meal to cook from scratch. I think the only video that I made underneath that was how to reuse leftover food. So I didn't really do much of cooking videos last year, 2023. And under business, we have the tasks, and I know that there are some task videos. I will remake them year after year because the form changes. At least the year on the form changes every year, and I like to keep those content up to date. So on our content calendar, there are some content that I know that will recur on it. So, and generally I make task content during the first 4 months of the year, because most people file their taxes during the first quarter of the year. And before, I like to create content around taxes during the first 4 months of the year, and then I'll create gardening content during summer, and probably winter I will talk about finances or something like that. But then I have different people viewing those content, and then I thought last year when I was reflecting on the 1 year content calendar, I thought about mixing it. So picking 4 content of 4 categories: finance, business, tasks, gardening, and create content every month. So 4 weeks of the month, create content every month on each one of those topics. That way everybody will have a content that they are interested in the month, if that makes sense. And that was the strategy that I used in 2023, and that will be the same strategy that I'll be using 2024. But so far I published task videos, and we are in April 2024. So a lot of task videos, we create those already and publish most of them. But now I'm thinking that by the time you are done with 5 topic content in the month, you'll have 50 video ideas or 50 contents for the year, if that makes sense. So I'm going to take an example here, and I'm going to pull sourdough starter. I work on sourdough starter few days ago. So under cooking, on our keyword spreadsheet, sourdough starter, we start researching that around 2023 or so, or maybe 2022, I'm not sure. I will be able to know though, because sometimes I date those things. But anyway, and then we pretty much recall some questions. But then few days ago, as I'm thinking about the content that I'm going to publish next, I went back to Google and YouTube, and I recorded those questions that I found, and then on Pinterest as well. So I'm just going to pick one, and we are going to work on it. So if we go to Google, for instance, the way I like to do my research, I don't use a keyword research tool. I do not. I just use Google, YouTube, and Pinterest. Since I'm going to post on Pinterest, I will use Pinterest as well. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put sourdough starter, and as I put the topic or the subtopic sourdough starter, I will see what suggestion Google has. So sourdough starter recipe and sourdough starter discount recipe, those are things that I can say something about. Therefore, I will write them down on my spreadsheet, my keyword spreadsheet, and then I will click on sourdough starter, and then I will not care about the content that populated. I will go to people also ask, and then I will say, I will look at how long does sourdough starter take, and I have an answer for that question. Therefore, I will write it down. Is it worth making your own sourdough starter? I can create a video about that. Therefore, I will write it down. Do you have to discard sourdough starter every time you feed it? And that's something I can write it down. So what I like to do is just have my keyword. I will just minimize that, and then I'll just type things on it as I'm seeing it on Google. And then what I like to do as well is I will click, and then I will click again, and Google, when you click on people also ask questions, it will bring more questions, and then I'll read them to see what I have answered for. Do you stir sourdough starter when feeding? If I don't really think that is a question that is clear enough for me to answer, I'm not going to. What happened if I forgot to discuss sourdough starter before feeding? Is it okay to use all-purpose flour for sourdough starter? That is my area. So I don't know if I have if I wrote it down or not. I will just add it to it. Is it okay to use? Okay, I already have it in it, so it's showing it to me that I already have it, so I'm not going to add it again. Okay, and that's how I create my keyword. So, and when I'm doing this, I will have in mind that, and like I will highlight the questions that I want to create content for. Does that make sense? And then until I have 10 of it. And similar questions, there will just be a tag. You know, when I have a question, then I have similar question, but just maybe formulated differently. There will be a tag for that one questions, for instance. So there will be grouping of those questions. And as you can see here, without even taking into consideration what I found in 2024, just what I did in 2023, I have about 38 topics under Sourdough Starter that I can create content for without counting the one that I have underneath that are grouped. So, and so by doing that, I can just pick 10 of those and put it in my content calendar for that Sourdough Starter, and I know that I have enough content that I want to create for the year for that topic, if it makes sense. Now we will go, and I will do that later, but it's here. Now we will go to swing trading. So if we go back, and another thing that I did when I was doing swing trading, and it will be under finance. Swing trading, and as you can see, we have more than 10 topics there to create video about. We just need to pick 10 out of it. That one alone have more than 52 questions that may not be same questions that I can just, if I want to just create videos on swing trading, I have enough there for the year, for instance. So our keyword spreadsheet, in some way we record video ideas or content ideas if you want to view it that way. But when I was designing it though, it was more for tag, and little by little it became, you know, where I can go, for instance, pull a question from there and create a video for, because when I'm writing those questions there, I'm writing questions that I have answer for already, or I do minimal research to make sure what I have in my mind is accurate. So, and for the swing trading, if we go back to Google and we put, let's do the swing trading under YouTube. That is just the way I do my research, and the way I do it on YouTube, that's the same way I do it on Google. So under YouTube, for instance, we will put swing trading, and when we put swing trading, it's going to for some reason. Okay, swing trading is going to bring me some question that people are searching, and then I will read it. Swing trading realistic return, and swing trading profit rate, swing trading holding period. Those are things that I have answer for based on my experience. Swing trading journal entry, and swing trading strategy, swing trading for beginners, swing trading strategy stock, swing trading option. I don't do that, therefore I'm not going to write it down in my spreadsheet. What I like to do with this one though is I like to use a capture, and sometimes it takes me a few trials to get it right, because if I go off that page I won't see it. So what I like to do is screen capture those questions suggested by YouTube, and then I will bring my keyword spreadsheet, I'll minimize it, and then I will just write them down. And when I was done with it, I did space A, and then I saw swing trading analysis, and then I'll write it down, and then I'll go to swing trading space B, and then I will see what is there that you know, I can add it to my spreadsheet, and then I'll go to C, and I did that all the way to Z. And then after that, I came back and I did a space swing trading, and then I read it how to find a stock for swing trading. Then I'll write it down on my spreadsheet how to choose a stock for swing trading. That one is related to the other one. And how to select a stock for swing trading. Those three are related. How to do a swing trading for a living, swing trading as a career. And then I will go to B space swing trading. I have that topic, swing trading. I'll just add the alphabet at the beginning and then leave space and continue, and then I'll see what is suggested, and then at the end of, and then I'll have the topic swing trading. I'll leave space, and then I'll put alphabet at the end of it and go all the way to Z as well. That's what we did before. Now we'll do it at the beginning of the word, the topic, and then I will read it best. I don't really like to say best on things because it is my opinion, but best time frame for swing trading, I can write it down and I can add for me because it will be really, I think it will vary, and pretty much that's the way I will find my keyword, and that's how I have it. And then I'll try to sort it, and later I can go back and I try to even group them in a certain way that I can fine-tune those research. For instance, by doing daily chart analysis, what I can find underneath it question-wise by doing those search. So from swing trading, I try to go deeper by taking a subtopic of swing trading and see what other questions I can find underneath it. So, and pretty much from that, I will find 10 questions, and you can see I have some already in red, and probably the one in blue, that means I recreate some content that I approach those answers already. And if we just count those, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, the blue, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So we already have 19 already there that we can just copy and put underneath our content calendar. And we have some red one, that means those are the ones that are flagged to create content for. So if we take the swing trading example, for instance, I can copy those two and I can go to my content calendar on the swing trading. I will just paste it. I will change the color later though, but then I will just try to actually read those questions or those keywords to see the 10 out of them that I want to, that I want to put on the calendar. And then I will, I don't know, under gardening tour, I'm talking about gardening tour, but I can be specific there as well, or I can go find questions related to, but you get the idea. So that is the homework I'm going to work on, to find what people are asking, 10 underneath each of our 5 subtopics. Find 10 questions that I'm going to put there. Those are going to be the major part of our titles for our content, and then I'm going to create videos on those. And as I'm creating videos, I tend to record them where the article that will go on the blog, and underneath the video description, I like to put down where the file is, the image that I took, if I record the video, where the video is located. And then as I publish videos, I tend to record those videos that I publish as well, and then I'll highlight them from where they are or remove them from the list. But yeah, and eventually those that I'm publishing is just going to be related to, you know, the content calendar. In 2023, what I noticed though, when I feel like, okay, so next week, what video am I going to create? Then I'll go to my content calendar and see what I intend to create video on. So I'm looking for, have my content map, and I believe this one was, okay, in 2023 that we published, and you know, we trying to see if we are able to reach, you know, I know them as well for 10 topic or 12, because I'm going with 4 subtopic there, and see, you know, what I plan to do and what I actually did. So, and what we publish under gardening, and this, and what we publish under tax as well. And so forth. So yeah, and it's now, the idea is there, but it's not fine-tuned yet, and I believe it's published, but I think I will have what I plan on that as well. So that was the plan, okay? And what I actually end up doing. And that is the same approach I'm going to use in 2024. Have the plan, and then as I publish video, you know, have a record of what I actually did as well, end up doing. But for 2023 content calendar, for instance, we have, you know, we can see that the first 4 months of the year, or the 3 months of the year, it was all about taxes. But then we did finance, cooking, gardening, tasks. So it was those 4 topics. I think business got added at some point, but you can see them. So when I'm thinking about, okay, so what am I going to publish next week? Then I will come and then I will find the week that, you know, next week is, and then I will say, okay, so I have tasks, I already published tasks, so that means it will be stock finance. Therefore, if I don't have a video for it, I will start thinking about the video that I'm going to make for it. And if I have a video, I have multiple videos, which usually I have a lot of videos, I have more videos that I didn't publish. So I will go and look and say, okay, so what videos are in the list that I feel like publishing? That way I can start thinking about the thumbnails, the articles, if the articles is now ready, and yeah, and the title as well. Because sometimes I record the video before I think about, before I'll do the keyword research. That's what I do sometimes. It's not the right way of doing it, but when I have an inspiration, I will record the video, and then I will go do the research that I just did right now. And then I will see what questions that people ask that I answer in the video, and then I will use that to create the title, if that makes sense. And then when I'm doing that, I will profit to have those other questions that I can answer, I can create video later for. That's how over time I build my bank of those questions that people are asking, that I have the skills to answer, that are related to the content that I create, or the categories, the content categories that I create content around, if that makes sense. So I do have those keyword. I like to call them keyword. They are questions. I like to call them keyword as well. And they serve like tag for me. They are the tarot, they are the tags, because some question has some similarities, so I'll group them to make the tag for the blog and for the video as well. I'm not saying that's the best way of creating content. I'm just sharing the way I'm doing mine. But more importantly, I'm thinking about having 1 year of content calendar that I just know that I can just reference. It's not going to dictate what I create, but it's going to be a reference that if I don't have an idea what I need to create, I can look at and say, okay, you know what, I have those questions that I can create content for. And on my calendar, next week is going to be gardening content. So if I don't have any video on hand, then what questions people are asking that is related to the way that I garden, that I can create content around, and then I can do that. So, but yeah, I just feel like having 1 year worth of content ahead of time is a process interesting that I wanted to come up with. So, and for 2023, I was recording it, but then the last few weeks of the year, I didn't add what I created, but I just stopped it. But you know, I can easily complete that by just looking at 2023 what got published and complete it. But yeah, and that's the same way already in 2024 we do have, you know, our category, and so far everything is about business stars. And now we are going to start, that's why I start thinking about what are the different categories that I'm going to create content for this year. And I know that swing trading is going to be in finance. That means finance is going to be in it. Tax is going to be in it. Gardening is going to be in it. And I have that sourdough starter that I need to put it out there. In cooking is going to be in it. Oh, and then I have inventory management spreadsheets. Inventory management using a spreadsheet that I want to create content around, or bookkeeping, or combine both to see which one has more there is a need for, before, you know, the following year I can switch to one. If I cannot, if you know, I only have 10 spare for content underneath that category. So if that makes sense, so I'll be switching between bookkeeping and inventory and sales spreadsheet. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. So I'm going to work on it, and I just thought about creating a video on it. If you create content, whether it's article, blog articles, or if it's video, do you have 1 year content calendar that you follow, or do you call it content schedule? I'm not sure. So mine is still a draft, and it's going to evolve over time. But yeah, I need to get 2024 ready. But in the meantime, we do have the questions, and we do know categories we want to create content for. You just need to sit down and put them together. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Afiavi Libreman, creator of Living Consulting L.L.C YouTube channel, and ninasub.com, our blog. On our channel, on our blog, we share different ways you can save money and different ways you can make money to reach your financial independence, where you do not depend on your employer to provide for your family. Thank you so much for watching our videos. Thank you so much for your comments. We thank you very much, you all that subscribe to our channel. Thank you.